Here we are again.
Oh, you guys again.
Wow.
This was the life of back-to-back.
Anything changed for anyone in the last, 12 hours?
I haven't even changed clothes.
Yeah.
I'm here, guys.
Oh my God, Dev, he's here.
Dev's our reinforcement on the second night of back-to-back.
I will say, Dev not here. Pretty fun game. Pretty awesome. Pretty great lounge.
Not sure what
I'm
that's
not
about.
saying causation, correlation. I'm just saying.
We haven't even seen what tonight's going to be.
That's right.
That's right, baby. Now I'm ready to run through the wall.
Let's go, baby.
We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Be like me. Make all kinds of... Actually, that's another thing. Dev wasn't here yesterday, and I went off.
Do you want to run it back?
I do want to run it back. I'm just saying, you weren't here, and I had a Jokic-esque night on DraftKings.
You really did.
It was incredible how I was hitting winners. All right, you're going to make us even more money. I can't wait. The Nuggets are in San Antonio in what is their, I believe, 9th city in 14 days or 15 days, something like that.
The extended road trip.
The extended road trip. So this is a real gut check. But you know what? Last night was a gut check.
Yeah.
They passed. This is an even guttier gut check. We're going to find out if they pass. And I got a full squad. I got Vogt here with me.
Ready to rock. Feeling better about the Nuggets, but that is an every other day affair. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I want to get back in that winner's lounge.
I've also got Harrison Wynn with me. Notable that yesterday someone said Harrison's wearing the Atom, and today he pulled out all the stops.
Yeah, well, never again. I better never get that comment in the chat again the entire rest of this season. So
the entire rest of your life.
I'm doing my part.
You get the ultimate insult here. And then, of course, we've got Dev along in
Good
tow.
too, Dev.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited for Nuggets basketball again. I had to get a day, but I'm ready.
Are you really, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you? Because I'm going to be honest. I want to be excited, but I don't want to be hurt, and I have low expectations.
It's that
I'm
one.
pretty excited. I'm
I'm
pretty
excited too.
I like the way that Jokic plays against the Spurs. I feel like that was like a big thing or a testament of like where he started. Because I feel like that's when he started getting a lot like more national attention, and it was like to see how much Popovich loves him and just the evolution of that relationship and how much he really like admires the way that he plays. I really do like that, and it's like it's respect on both levels.
Well, Jokic also talks about one of his welcome to the NBA moments was when he went up against Tim Duncan his rookie season against the Spurs. And Tim Duncan put 20-something points on him. And Jokic always says that was like the easiest 20-something points somebody's ever put up on him. So
he said he did not. I always remember this. He says he did not feel me at all.
he did not feel me at all.
I love that line. It's like, I get it.
But you got the Popovich angle, which I'll talk about in a second. You got that angle. There's a nice kinship between these two teams, Mike Malone, Greg Popovich as well. There's always been a relationship there.
Yeah, no question about it. And speaking of which, Pop, I saw you were in the commentary earlier.
There was.
So here's the thing. Do you remember when they played in the playoffs? And Pop raves about Jokic after a game. And the next game, every single media member's like, hey, Coach Popovich, what do you think of Jokic? And he's like, guys, you ask me this every time. I'm not going to write your article. Those days are old. Now I feel like you can ask Popovich an unlimited amount of questions about Jokic. He will answer you every time.
Yeah. Well, I think Popovich is just loving life again. I feel like for a couple of years he was like, "Oh, where are we going? Where's this team going?" Mark Stein had an article
also had
today.
Some personal. He lost his wife. And
Mark Stein had an article today. He's like, "Pop is Pop again. He's back.
He's back, huh?"
Maybe that means just waxing poetic about Nikola Jokic.
I just love, by my count now, this is a triple down on the Larry Bird comp. This is the third time that Popovich has taken the opportunity to say that he reminds him of Larry Bird.
A massive dub for Yoke, but an even larger massive dub for me. Because I'm telling you, do you guys remember this? When he said it the first time, Brian Windhorst freaked out about it on his show. He's like, all respect to Popovich, but that's an absurd
They tried to cancel Greg Popovich over that comment.
Like, we were like, all right, I guess we're going to have to go with Windhorst on this one. Brian Windhorst knows. And I almost feel like he saw that clip and was like, no, I'm not going to let these MFers diminish this comp. It's a right comp.
Right.
Yep. Third time now. Larry Bird-esque. I love it.
So that's what Pop said tonight. He was talking about Jokic. How do you stop him? He goes, he's too damn good. It's not fair all the things he can do. It's kind of Larry Birdish in a way. He's not going fast. He's not jumping high. Great hand, scores every which way. Involves all of his teammates. Probably the best passing big man we've seen in a very long time. That comment could have used a little more juice.
Could have used, this is the Ryan Koenigsberg, some compliments are actually insults. Like there's an appropriate level. That compliment was below the threshold of acceptable.
Like if Pop came out and said best passing big man ever, that's not even a stretch anymore. Jokic is just clearly that. You know,
I do wonder. Like Pop's been around a long time. I wonder if he is like, you guys don't remember Walter Bellamy,
this guy at the Army. You know,
yeah, guy did the same stuff back then. It's like when everyone's like, Steph Curry, I saw this in 1933. No, you did not.
Right.
I saw Johnny Hustle get 20 steals in a game. Also, some notes from this game. Keldon Johnson is out for the Spurs.
It's crazy, man.
Big time.
That's
Big
big
Is he
news.
okay? What is he dealing with before I celebrate that live on the internet?
It's just an injury. It's fine.
All right, let's go. Oh,
But of course, Keldon Johnson had 27 against Denver in the second game of the season. Nuggets still won, but Keldon Johnson crushed
yeah, he did.
the Nuggets in that game. So he's out tonight. It sounds like he's going to be out for the rematch on Saturday as well. So Denver catching a break there. But yeah, that's super good for the Nuggets. Michael Malone called Jakob Poeltl one of the more underrated players in the NBA. One of the most underrated players in the NBA.
Little love fest between these coaches for the opposing centers.
Yeah.
But it is true. I will say this. Can I tell you something? Jakob Poeltl is massively underrated.
He's good.
Here's
He's
the
legitimately
thing. Here's
very
the
good.
thing about sports. If you are goofy looking,
and named Jakob Poeltl.
no, if you're goofy looking,
think
you
that's a
get
part.
underrated.
If you're white,
No, that's part of it. But I'm telling you, like he especially looks like an absolute goober.
he looks like a
and
goon.
he even like his shoulders like don't sit normally. Like I'm not trying to make fun of the guy. I'm just saying he's very awkward looking, and you'd be like, that guy can't play basketball, but he's actually pretty solid.
Very good. He does set screens like an MFer.
Yeah, he
but,
does.
Yeah,
he's
he
definitely
You know
does.
what? I think a lot of guys probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good basketball player.
Malone was talking about Nikola Jokic, the closer. First, he said he thought Jokic's game winner was going in. Jokic also said in the postgame last night he thought his game winner was going in.
He said it was a good shot.
Yeah.
Jokic gave a pretty classic face as he was walking back,
Here we go again. 5 more minutes of this bullshit.
like he was mad at the basketball gods.
Yeah.
You know, like
But Malone said Jokic's poise always stands out. There's never any panic with him. To be a clutch player, you can never get rattled. You can never get rushed and hurried. And Nikola is the definition of that. He's always under control. And I thought this was a good note as well from Malone. He compared the end of that game when they went Monte Morris, Nikola Jokic pick and roll time and time again to the two-man game with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in the pick and roll. And I do have to say, the Nuggets just haven't been in a lot of close games this season.
true.
So we haven't really seen the late game offense a ton, but it worked really well last night against New Orleans with Monte and Jokic in that.
Part of it was they got back to bread and butter, which was like get Jokic the ball. Like it was Monte and Jokic as a vehicle for Jokic. Let's get Jokic the ball and with no confusion. And it looked good. But that's a good point, Wind. I think it's a sneaky thing because that's a part of this team's identity and a question that hasn't necessarily been asked time and time again to start the season.
I also love the fact that now, I think in the past there was questions who the Nuggets go to late in the games. Do they give it to Michael Porter Jr.? Do they give it to Jokic? Do they run something that gets someone else open? Now it's open. Like they're going through Jokic, and then for Malone to come out and say that the ball is going to Jokic to like end the game. Like that's big, and that shows the type of superstar and player that he's become.
yeah.
Malone, this is the last note I've got from him, also talking about Zeke Naji and just about the different types of workers there are in the NBA.
Loved this.
And he said, you're never going to catch Zeke Naji cutting corners. Obviously, he's a maniacal worker in the gym the entire offseason. And then Malone was saying how he plays extremely hard every single minute that he's out there. The next step is having more of a thought process in terms of, okay, who am I closing out to on this play? How do I read this defense? Stuff like that. But Malone said it's better to have to teach that stuff than teaching a guy to play hard.
Right. Well, I liked his comment. He said there's a lot of guys in this league that you drag them to the gym, they'll work hard.
Yeah.
And he's like, and that's good. But there's
Only
other
gets you so
guys that
far.
get there on their own. So
And Zeke's one of those other guys.
So the Spurs, by the way, lost 6 games in a row. Then they won 4 games in a row. Now they've lost 2 in a row. So hard to get a sense of like, is this team on the up? Are they on the down? They just beat the Warriors a week ago. But they also lost to Phoenix and New York more recently. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Down Keldon Johnson. Deb, do you feel good about that? I mean, Nuggets second night of a back-to-back, man. I think it's hard to be too optimistic.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I feel like, they're missing Keldon Johnson, who has been a key
The score, man. They need points.
And then also, like, while I do think that Poeltl is a good defender, he's not one of those guys that can stop Jokic.
Right.
And every time that you have Jokic who's playing at this MVP level that he is, you have a chance. I feel like you always have a chance, no matter if it's a back-to-back. Their best player has been good. It doesn't matter if it's a back-to-back. They could go across the country. It could be fresh. It does not matter. And it also, I just feel like he's just ready to play every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he's playing well, everyone's backing him, I feel like there's a chance every time.
The Nuggets, the Jokic era Nuggets, have really dug deep when their backs were against the wall. I think the 7 was the second night of a back-to-back as well. They won in Milwaukee earlier in that stretch, that same stretch the 7 came in, same thing, shorthanded, back-to-back. So this is, I do feel like Jokic and this team in particular takes a little bit of pride in these types of games more than others. I mean, they drop Orlando's. That's also a trait. There's a yin and yang to this.
Sure.
But one of the traits is like, oh, everybody counts us out. Let's go do this.
And they're coming off an overtime game, too. It's not just a back-to-back. It's a really close game that went down to the buzzer, and then you played another 5 minutes.
They've circled,
where Nikola Jokic literally did everything on every single possession.
Yeah, they've circled the entire United States 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
And the Spurs last played on Monday?
Yeah, they get a very well rest. No, Tuesday. They had Tuesday.
Oh, did they
game.
have a Tuesday game?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. They lost to the Knicks.
No,
on
they
Tuesday.
still got one night off, so it is a rest disadvantage. All right, that's it. So, what about you? Do you feel any confidence?
I mean, that's the beauty of an MVP candidate caliber player. You should feel some level of confidence every night. How much after last night? I'm with you. I'm a little worried. Feels too strong. It just feels like a scheduled loss, especially after the overtime. But you play these games on the court.
The fact
not on the
that they
paper.
won last night with where this team is at and how tired everybody looked, the fact that they got that game kind of let you go into tonight being like, all right, we don't need this one. We get another one Saturday against the same team that's also going to be banged up. We don't need this one. Would it be great to have? Yeah, but maybe we don't need to expend 120% of us like we did last night.
Let's move it on because we got some segments I want to get to here. Steph Curry obviously is now knocking on the door. I think he's 10 3-pointers shy of being the all-time leader. It is no question that Steph Curry, in my opinion, it is no question that he is the greatest shooter to ever walk this earth. It's funny that he's passing Ray Allen because sometimes when you have these in the record books, it's like, man, was he a better scorer or rebounder or this or that, or did he just play longer, this or that? Mm-hmm. With Steph, you're like, Ray Allen being the greatest shooter ever, he's not really handing the baton to Steph. Steph already has the baton. He just happens to be passing him now.
Right.
And it shows you what a crazy shift the league is in now. That's, how Steph Curry changed the way we view three-pointers. It makes me wonder, do you think Jokic has an outside chance at some of these types of things where they are paradigm shifting? Like right now, it is a bummer that Popovich just said one of the best center or the best passer we've seen in a long time. But do you think this is one of those things where it's like paradigm shifting for centers where we just look at it completely differently?
In terms of Jokic,
but I'm saying 3-point shooting is different now that Curry exists.
Right.
Big man passing.
Yes, a little bit, because you've seen a lot of teams honestly design offenses where your big man's initiating a ton of stuff, and Jokic was the starting point for that.
Right.
Like what Minnesota does with Karl Towns. Like that's based off what Denver does with Nikola Jokic. You're probably going to see it with Houston, with Şengün there,
right.
Who plays a little bit like Jokic.
He's more of a forward, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to see it more and more. Now, is there going to be a center who comes along that passes as well as Nikola Jokic does? I have a hard time believing that. But
isn't this why the Curry comp is good? Curry both changed the way now everybody shoots more threes, but he's also better at it than anyone else. So even though everyone's following in his footsteps, they're also going to come up short.
Is there going to be a Steph Curry of big man passers that comes along and unseats Jokic? I doubt it.
That's what I'm saying. Jokic is that guy.
Okay.
Everyone is going to copy him, but he also is the best at it.
I also wonder, and this is way less likely, but in a version of Jokic's story where he's victorious, he comes out on top, his narrative is written by folks like us and not outsiders. Do we change the way we look at what a center is supposed to be on both ends of the court?
Right.
And why is our evaluation still muddied by this antiquated idea of what a center should be?
No question.
And are deflection steals and defensive rebounds really less valuable than blocks and rim protection? And so I don't know if people ever necessarily talk about his defense, but if he ends up being one of those top 20, 25 guys of all time, like his peak, then he forces some of these conversations. Greatness comes in different packages.
Well, let me give you the numbers then so we can get into the real meat here. Triple doubles. He's currently 8th all time in triple doubles. He is 1 behind James Harden. Just 1. So he has a chance to be 7th all time. He's 7 years into his career. Here's the thing. If you look at the all-time triple-double leaders, we have it, Kale. I think I sent you that link, so you can go ahead and pull that one up. If we look at the all-time triple-double leaders, I don't think he can catch Oscar. I don't think he can catch Russell Westbrook. Like, he could, but he would have to play for a lot more years. I mean, he would have to play for like 12, 13 more seasons, kind of keeping more or less the pace he has over this last 7. I don't think he'll do it. I do think he will be either 3rd or 4th when you look at this list of all time. Can you zoom in there, Kel, so we can better read the top of this list here? You see where he's at right now, 61. So, just lost it. 61, 62, 78. He'll catch Wilt Chamberlain very soon. LeBron's still adding some. Jason Kidd's not. Like, I just think all of those are almost a lock. Then you get up to Magic Johnson at 138. It's about double, a little bit more than double what he's got. I think he'll also get there.
Yeah, I could see it. It's just going to be about how many years he plays. I mean, he's always going to be – the great thing about Jokic is that he just needs capable players around him.
Right,
right. They're always going to be running a system where he's the focal point, and they just need smart, high IQ players around him. So he's played 7 seasons. If he plays another 7 plus – yeah, he could.
Jokic has segued into this, like, where scoring is his number one way of impacting the game, and passing is almost his second, thing. And I think that'll probably continue for, I mean, it depends on the roster. But I do feel like that continues for the next 3-4 years. But I do feel 32-year-old Jokic, I could see him being a 14-point per game scorer, but more triple-doubles.
Right.
More 14, 10, and 10s.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that can happen. And then also back to your question about, like, will that shift happen? I think no. I think it's just hard for him because the public perception behind it is there's always someone else that they could go through, even though it's not true, or go back to. He won MVP and he didn't get the respect that he deserves. So I don't think that, all of a sudden it's going to go, he's the best passing shooter. He's definitely the best passing big man MVP that there's ever been, but that conversation doesn't happen. So I think it'll be hard. But I do think that there's going to be a time that he goes to those not scoring like and having those huge 39, 11, 11 nights. But, yeah, the 12, 10, 10.
Do you think he could pass Russell Westbrook? Do you think he could be the all-time triple-doubles leader?
No, I don't think he could get there. But like
Westbrook
you said,
had like 41 in one season or 50
Yeah, I
in one
think he
season.
gets to like 4 and things like that. He also averaged it for a whole season.
Jokic might have to average it to pass it.
Yeah, and I can't ever see
He
it
could.
being a goal of Jokic's, like a concerted effort to record it tonight or any given night.
PER, he currently averages 26.4. This would be top 5 all-time. He doesn't qualify for minutes. He almost does. He will by the end of, I think, next season. But it's 26.4, which would be top 5 all-time. He's been over 30 for the last 2 seasons. I think he's got another 2 or 3 seasons of being over 30. So it's that number's going to rise. Inevitably, at the end of your career, your PER drops a little bit, and so it weighs it down a little bit. I think he's going to be a top 5 all-time PER guy, though, just by virtue of how absurd he's at 34.5 right now. Like he's weighing that thing up so high.
This year was, nothing was outlier about last year. And in fact, I look a little better.
A little bit better.
So buckle up for 2-3 years, I think, of this type of impact. And so he'll be in that
Do you think depending on, I know the whole career is going to matter, but he does this like 34 PER. He does this for another season or 2. Because right now people almost discount it. Like it's like, something's broken in it. But do you think there's a moment where people are like, I don't know, maybe he is just like a top 10 player.
Yeah, when he gets on the All-NBA team 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row. You're like, okay, this is for real. This is not a joke. This is not a game. Also, he has had so many, like if you think about where he started, it was Karl Anthony Towns and Porzingis.
Yeah. Now
Now he's past Embiid. Who else is there to pass anymore?
Yeah.
So now if you just keep it up, you're the top center for four years in a row. There's no one else that's going to catch him, even the young guys. There's no one that's going to get to that point. He's already at the top of being the top center, and it's a battle with him and Embiid that he already won the battle. And he's also been, relatively healthy, he's just going to keep doing it in a row where you can't discount it at all.
Yeah. Let's Nuggets records here, guys. He has 431 games played. Tonight will be 432. All-time leader, 837. I feel like he gets there.
He's going to smash that.
If he gets
probably.
one more, knock on wood, if he gets one more contract extension, where he's not here just for next year, but 4 more years after that, he'll get it. So, I'm hopeful he becomes the all-time Nuggets record played. Field goals, he's 7th. He needs probably a full 7 years to be the leader in all-time field goals made.
This one I think is a little tougher.
It is tougher.
This one's
So
tougher.
it'd be
Alex English made a lot of field goals.
33?
Especially if
in
he's
7 years?
the trajectory you just outlined is accurate, where as he grows older, he becomes a little less score first.
What I love is if we do, I don't like talking about it, but mildly worried about his next contract just because until a player signs one, you're like, I just want 5, 6, 7 more years of this. But if he signs, let's just say he's with the Nuggets for another 4 years, he will be staring at leading in every category, but it'll be like you're 2 years away. I almost feel like that'd be hard to pass. That almost becomes its own selling point when you're like, yeah, you could leave and go to Green or stay here 1 more year, and you're going to be the all-time Nuggets leader, scorer, rebounder, passer.
Isn't that why him making the Tim Duncan comment specifically that were so encouraging to everyone?
Totally.
And you have to think that if you I could see all-time games played in a Nuggets uniform as one of those individual records that does end up mattering to Jokic.
Yep, I could see it too.
And also, it's the number one of all the things we're going to talk about right now. It's the one I want him to get because everyone really knows, with all due respect to Sir Alex English, Jokic is the best guy to ever put on a Nuggets uniform. And it would just, for him to ride out the Tim Duncan thing, he would lead this organization in games played.
The thing about all-time Nuggets greats is there's only 2 that really lasted beyond just the short one. Like Melo was here, but he was here for basically not the minimum amount of time, but close to it. Alex English and Dan Issel are the only 2 that were they were here for a decade or more, and it mattered. So Jokic could join that. Here's the crazy ones, guys. 3-point field goals made. He's 9th right now. Mm-hmm. He's 9th in threes made. He's going to be top 5 in 3. He might be number 1 when it's all said and done, but he's going to be top. Rebounds, he's 4th. He's already 4th in rebounds.
Yeah.
In
he's
Nuggets
smash
history,
that.
He's going to
smash it.
At the rate he's 15 rebounds a game, he's going to smash that by the end of the season. Assists, he's 4th.
Crazy.
In assists, this is what I mean. He really does have a chance to be number 1 in points, rebounds, and assists. Steals, he'll be top 10, maybe top 5. He could be top 5, which is weird, steals. And then points, he's 6, likely going to be top 4. He does need, points is the hard one. He's going to need a full 7+ years. Will Barton, by the way, just to kind of give this, he's 2nd in 3-point field goals, has a great chance of passing that this year.
What's the margin?
It's like 50. He needs 50 more, so I think he'll get there if he plays healthy all year. And then games, here's the craziest thing. Will Barton, by the end of his contract, will be top 10 in Nuggets history in games played in a Nuggets uniform. Isn't that wild?
That will go down as one of the more unlikely records to happen ever in Nuggets history.
Barton.
Yeah.
2nd round pick.
Second round pick who came here, Denver liked him, but he wasn't the main guy in that trade package even. And then, he just gets better and better, becomes a starter and an absolute staple of this era of Nuggets basketball. It's incredibly unlikely.
Yeah, man. Potential Nuggets legend.
Guys, for the 2nd day in a row, no time for thumbs up or thumbs down. We're giving thumbs down to thumbs up or thumbs down. We're going straight into everybody's favorite segment, betting. We're going to make some money here off of Superstar Dev. Don't screw this up, Dev. I'm on a roll.
Yeah, everything's feeling good, Dev. Everything's going
the
well.
vibes are so hey, there's all these odds boosts, guys. Honestly, log in right now. I don't know why they're doing this, but they have the single game parlay of $10 or more. You keep earning money on it, so I'm in that one.
That's cool.
Awesome. So just taking a look at the line, Nuggets are 2-point underdogs. Second night of a back-to-back.
I think they either win or get blown out, man. I don't see this 2-point business. I don't know which one it is. I lean towards blown out.
So, it's only 2. So if you like that, you take Spurs money. Do you do that?
I don't bet against the Nuggets.
Exactly. So we'll go over
so I'm taking the Nuggets.
Yeah, you might. Why not? You get 2 points on it. Player props. We go right over. The first one I look at is Jokic, 26.5 on his scoring. That's a lot.
They think 26.5 points from Jokic.
I'm just saying that's the first thing that pops up, that you look at, just to try to see what type of game they expect him to have. So they're expecting him to go from a 39-11-11 on the second night of back-to-back to 26.5, which is one of his higher end ones. A player that I really like in the game, which will be my lock,
Oh, let's
wow.
do it.
Early
I'm already
lock.
ready for. I haven't even made a bet yet, but I'm ready for the lock.
It's a bones game.
Oh,
It's a bones game.
Oh.
Yes, points.
7.5. I agree with this. I agree with this take.
The second night of a back-to-back, you have to rely
Absolutely.
on the bench unit. You have to have a bones bounce back. I expect him to have a big game.
4 units on it.
You go
4
4
units.
units on it. That's a good one.
Man, that's such a what a misdirection. I thought you were gonna pick a Spur for a
Yeah, I
second.
know. I thought the way he did.
Beautiful.
No.
his
If you do want a
eyes, the way
Spurs
he
bet,
did that
then
thing.
you might as well lock in
I don't.
Derek White. Derek
Oh,
White,
Colorado
God.
legend.
Colorado,
All right, hey.
Colorado guy.
All right,
Acceptable.
He's a Colorado
Whatever.
guy. I do like his points, rebounds, and assists is very, very low. It's like at 23.5. He's coming off of a game where he scored 20 plus points by itself.
Yeah.
He's aggressive against the Nuggets. It's his childhood hero team.
Yeah.
They're missing the guard that he's win at in the playoffs. Like I like that one. Jokic rebounds is at 11.5 and it's plus money. How do we not take that?
It's a lot of rebounds. That's how. It's 12.5
How much?
now.
Yeah, 12.5. How much does he average?
That's a good question, Dev.
And they don't have an actual center. I like the rebounds.
I
in
can't
in
believe
this
that.
game.
I can't touch it, Dev. I can't touch it.
That's
You can
okay,
make
that's
fun of
okay.
me in the postgame show.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
your permission.
He's
When this
averaging
one
13
hits,
and a half rebounds.
What is it? Do you like?
huh?
What do you like?
I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I don't know. I like what I like is like end of bench stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go over to threes. Like I just the odds that there is garbage time. I'm not saying there will. I'm just saying the odds that there are.
It's very on the table.
It's on the table. So, what is there?
This bones bet that Dev was talking about has to be a lock. Over 7.5
I know.
points.
Hey man. He only had
Careful.
7 though this
Yeah,
last game.
careful.
He had 9 last
He
game.
did have 9. What about Zeke Naji threes? We get Zeke Naji
He's
threes.
due. He's
He's
due.
not on here, is
No,
he?
he's not.
Oh, they don't.
Guess
get-
we'll have to bet on Faku.
DraftKings always does this.
What's
one,
wild is
yeah.
they don't have Zeke Naji, but they do have Nuggets legend Bates Diop.
Can't debate Diop.
Oh, wow.
KBD.
Take the
KBD.
under on anything there. I could see Jokic taking some threes tonight.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
due.
He's
Another-
1.5. I kind of like
Plus
Jokic
110
threes.
on
Yeah.
1.5.
Another player that I really
Over.
feel like, and it's not even a bounce back. I just think that he will find some success, and holds his own against this type of team is Monte Morris.
Okay, could see
Like
it.
I think that he gets himself going. I would go with the assist if I'm going to get anything. He's hitting that mid range, but also it's the second night of a back to back. Maybe he's not trying to score. Maybe he's trying to facilitate. Maybe he's getting everyone else involved. So I do like Monte Morris as well.
What about Aaron Gordon? He had a bad game last night. I could see him having
No Keldon Johnson.
no
Might be a
Keldon
little less
Johnson,
of a
yeah,
defense
less
first.
defensive responsibility.
Yeah, who will be? Did we talk about starters for that? Who will be tasked at the power forward position?
I
Because
don't know.
that's
Yeah.
kind of where I go with
Yeah.
if he has a mismatch or a no mismatch that they try to slow down the pace and get him involved. I feel like they do that. Dump pass where he has the mismatch. He
Right.
seals them.
They never went to that last game
Yeah,
at all.
and then and that's where when he has the mismatches when they go to it. That's where it comes from.
All right, I'm going to build a parlay here. We're going to take Nuggets money line because I do this for all of my parlays. We're going to go over to, why don't we get to the threes for Bones? Bones threes is just too much fun. We have to root for it. We'll get a little bit crazy. Like I said, they don't have it on here. That makes me so mad when they don't give me Bones on the parlay.
They're scared of it.
They are scared of it. All right, we're going to go to Jokic three-pointers. I'm going to take 2+ to get some good odds here. Again, I just think he might be too tired to go inside, settle for a few threes.
It might be Bates Diop in the starting lineup.
Really?
man.
Oh, shit. Maybe
They
we
have
should
they
take the
have,
Nuggets
they have
money line.
Doug McDermott, right? He has to start. Who does he guard?
Man, you're right. Let's go
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon points here. We're going Aaron Gordon points. Should we get a little crazy? Let's go 13.5. Over 13.5.
What are the odds on
If
that?
they have him down there, or if they have KBD, regardless, they're gonna go into the post.
I like it.
So yeah, Aaron Gordon is a solid play to score the ball because he's due for a bounce back. He has the mismatch. They're gonna see that he didn't get himself going. Why not?
All right, I've got all that. That's it. That's all my. That's a 3-part parlay. You know, it's plus 550. That's not bad. I might as well take it.
Take it, man.
I'm gonna go. So it's Nuggets money line, Jokic 2 3-pointers, and then Aaron Gordon 13.5. Why not?
I like it.
Let's do it.
I got a free bet anyway. I'm using it for this one.
We gotta
a
get
lot
out of
easier
here. We
when
got
you
a
got
game
that free
coming up,
bet.
man.
This was a very skittish betting segment. Very scared. We're playing scared money.
Dude, betting on the Nuggets right now is an insane thing to do.
It is insane.
It is truly insane.
I would bet the
thing.
bench tonight. Like if you're looking for people to
Malone's
bet,
going to play him.
the bench.
Play him a lot.
Yeah.
J-Mike might be back, man. The team was hyping J-Mike last night in the
Hyping
post game.
him.
They were
Everyone
really.
They probably
hyping
gave
up.
him the defensive player of the game chain just for good measure.
I should have taken J-Mike threes. I bet he goes 3 for 3 tonight.
That chain, by the
I bet
way,
he
is
doesn't.
just the Malone. That's just the Malone morale chain. That's what that's just like a locker room.
Whoever
building.
needs it,
Whoever really
gets
needs
it.
the deep pod.
Dude, we need to make a chain. I need to hand
Nope.
out a chain every
I
single
don't think
show.
so.
I think it'd be
I
great.
feel like we're probably good without
No,
a chain.
you know what? I'm finding a chain.
All right.
We're
That's
gonna
gonna
do
be
it.
fun.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Hit that like button on the way out for us, and then meet us right back here right after the game.